You mentioned this previously in another portion of questions, but just in case those are tuning in into this particular portion of questions,
Mm-hmm.
care to share your screen name on Instagram one more time?
Ari Da Kid, SYARIDAKID, and it's only one page. It's verified, so ain't nobody else. You might, however, see the Sorry Not Sorry show, which is my podcast, but that's also verified. So don't get it confused. It's two different pages.
And I have some additional questions about that now that you brought that up. But let's talk about the subject at hand here, which is your social media platform, Instagram. In that bio of yours, you have written multi-platinum plaques and Grammy nominated.
Mhm.
Can you give that Rolodex?
Rolodex?
Yeah, what are the platinum plaques you received
Oh,
and the Grammy nomination?
oh,
Again, for
um,
those in the audience, hearing about you, getting in tune with you for the very first
yeah.
time. Those that know already know,
Couple
but
plaques I got. I got a plaque for Royce the 5'9". He got top 100 Billboard for his album, the Allegory, I think. I wrote and performed on that. Lloyd Banks, I'm on one of his projects. He got charted too on the Billboard thing. Travis Scott is 3 times platinum for the Birds in the Trap Sing Brian McKnight for a song I wrote and produced on called First Take on Travis Scott's album. XXX Tentacion 17 album, which I think is a classic. Um, uh, Kodak Blacks, I think it's Live to Die, something with Die to Live or something like that. I got a plaque for that too. Um, I think and then the Grammy nomination was from the Royce the 5'9" thing as well, that I got with Saha, Royce the 5'9", T.I. Um, yeah, and so that joint too.
okay, so pardon the brain fog here because you mentioned a variety of titles and things of that nature. But these plaques that you've received, were they for songs of an album you were on,
Yeah,
or the actual song went platinum in and of itself?
song. No, song on an album. Yeah, none of these were like a hit single. Yeah, none of these were a hit single. The main single on Royce the 5'9" was the Allegory. That song was called Black Savage. And that album got nominated for a Grammy, but we lost to Nas that year, unfortunately.
Got it. Okay. Now, sidestepping here, because if you did have a song that went platinum, I had additional questions for you. But because you haven't had a platinum song yet, I'll save those for in the future when you do.
Okay.
But just for transparency, speaking of your podcast here, you do have your co-host off camera to the side of you. Care to share who he is
Lord Owen.
and how you two met for the very first time?
We met, and he details this a lot better than me. There was some event I was judging at or something, and he rapped at. In time, we linked up a little bit later. Always had a good rapport between each other as MCs. We connected a few times here and there. I think we became family around 2019. I went on a tour. If I stand, don't quote me on this. I went on a tour in 2019 with Eric Bellinger, and I was looking for someone to come aboard the tour, help out, drive, help me with the merch. On that tour, we became real family. I got to see his energy, his work ethic with me. He was a sponge, open to learn, open to connect, and really helped out on that tour and shit. And so since then, we've been boys. He actually is a real podcaster, though. I wasn't. I don't watch podcasts in its totality. I never thought about doing a podcast. He always was talking about doing it. I, in turn, of course, I'm the muscle and the businessman with shit. So once it was time to make sense, I look forward to doing it. And since he was already into the podcast and shit, I just thought it made sense. You know what I mean?
So, who actually brings the idea of this particular podcast together and make it a joint venture between you two?
I mean, I did. I mean, it's got my name behind it. I think in time, and I've self-manifested this. I don't know if he did it with himself, but I've already told him the plans was for him to get his own show one day. And I see that for him once he puts the steps in and the footwork to do what he needs to do. But it's my show, you know what I mean? But I chose him as a co-host for a reason. I think he has a high potential volume that he can reach. Even though a lot of people enjoy him now, I think he's yet to I think he's yet to even reach where he should be going. where he can go. You know what I mean? And he knows the conversations we've had about that. But my fan base love him though. Like, you know what I mean? They went from just saying the white boy. Now it's now the girls are like Owen. So like you know what I mean? Now when we go out, they recognize like small shit like, you the co-host from the podcast. That works. That lets me know the algorithm is working out. You know what I mean? So but yeah, it's my show, but that's my co-host, and we doing it together at a partnership.
Yes, I met him for the first time off camera while we were getting ready to set up for the interview, and I wasn't expecting him to be here. I should have, now
Right.
that I think about it, but I
Right.
didn't. So
Right.
it caught me by surprise. It's like,
What?
I've seen the clips online. Now I see you in real life. Kind of just was like
Right.
that type of moment there.
Right, for sure.
But you don't have a mic on, but you can still be heard. Do you want to fact check anything Sai said about the history between you two here?
Nah.
Is that right?
Sounds pretty good.
What?
Now, is it safe to say, Sai, that previous to this podcast, when it came to the social media platform Twitter, you've had some viral tweets in your past history?
Yeah. I actually lost my first Twitter. Doing too much.
Care to share where your current Twitter is for those that didn't know you were back on Twitter?
I think
or
it's-
X, as they say these
I
days.
think it's sorry, not sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Now, why go from the tweets and those viral tweets and those viral opinions to go the podcasting avenue for your opinion? Why not live streaming like some choose to do instead of podcasting?
I actually might get into live streaming. It's a good bag. I just think monetization and marketing. You wanna structure it towards people want to see the image, the face up close on their phone, as opposed to the tweet shit still kind of hits, but I think you're more marketable and you'll have more opportunities later by showing your face and the powers that be that can offer these opportunities to go, I like his face, I like how he talks, I like what he says, I like how funny he is, I like his lingo, and that's how you project that to the camera, to the phone, at its best way possible. So.
Now, for you, why choose to do a podcast while you're an active recording artist? Because there are some that choose to go to the podcast route when they're done on the recording artist side of things. Some are has-beens, as one may say. Weren't great at the recording artist side of things, try their hand at the podcasting side of things, and now are superstars just in that world there. Why now while you're active? Why not when you were inactive?
Got sick of doing media runs. Now I am my own media run. I don't need to worry about, you know what I mean? Like if it's a motherfucker I fuck with, like a Smallz that I fuck with in the past, has a dope platform, and I fuck with his brand, and no matter what you're doing, I'm with that. I got sick of needing to be on XXL. I got sick of needing to be on a Fader. I got sick of needing to be on Complex and all that bullshit. Fuck that. Like these motherfuckers in the office act more bougie than the artists. Feel what I'm saying? Like I got tired of that shit. I'm like, nah, bro. I'm gonna be my own freestyle platform. I'm gonna be my own. I mean, as a grown man, you learn like, bro, you want something done, do it yourself. I'm not gonna be complaining about how hard it was to get into these doors, and you know what I mean. I just felt like that's where the game at right now too. So it was also something for me to learn, and I feel like everybody was already asking me to do it.